We had great fun judging at the Wisbys event this year.
I am so thrilled to have come across this amazing community. It's often a very lonely road when you're doing sustainability.
I really think it's so important that we do all we can to support and grow this ever-evolving positive impact business movement. It's such an important part of creating a better future for us and for our kids. And so big thank you to the Wisbys team as well for putting on these awards.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for participating, for engaging in our very first Women in Sustainable Business Awards. We are so pleased to have all the participants, all the semi-finalists, and all the finalists who have come on board, and we have seen the most wonderful array of sustainable business in action. We have seen practical things being done to solve real world problems, both from an environmental perspective and from a social perspective. And we are so immensely thrilled to have all these wonderful businesses and to represent them in this really wonderful way in the Wisbys. So I'm Catherine Byam. I'm the founder of the Wisbys. I'm also the host of the podcast Where Ideas Launch. And I'm also a sustainability strategy manager at a medical devices company. So I have a few hats, and it's been a quite tough few months balancing everything, trying to make sure that we can get all of this off the ground and make sure that we can celebrate these wonderful businesses who have decided to put their trust in us. So this has been a wonderful experience. I really want to give some thanks before we get into the networking. I want to give some thanks to all of the volunteers who have helped us to bring this thing to life. It's been 18 months of work, and everyone's been really pushing hard to make sure that we land this the way that we want to. So thank you so much to all the volunteers. I will name you all soon toward the end of the session as we join the live event at 5 p.m. So where is everyone joining me from? Why don't you put in the comments where you are joining me from so we can have a bit of a chat about that. It's been wonderful to see so many people engage in the group and so many people come in and share their email addresses with us because they wanted to know more about the Wisbys. We hope that we have respected your wishes and only sent you mails that you were really interested in. But it has been a wonderful journey of sort of developing this concept, interacting with many people. Hello, Responsible Futures. Hi, Sam. Really wonderful to have you with us. Sam is one of our finalists, so she's going to hear her fate tonight at 5 p.m. It's going to be such a wonderful celebration. I mean, the businesses are so positive, and I think one of the main things that I wanted to get across, and I think we've done it, but everyone else is going to be the judge of this, but we really wanted to infuse the whole award process with a lot of positivity. And it's been really a challenge to sort of bring that positivity to the climate conversations because, when we look at our news feed, sometimes it's not very positive. So we really wanted to inject that positivity with the businesses that we celebrate. So Sam is a really wonderful example. If you do not know Sam, if you have not interacted with Responsible Futures before, go check them out on LinkedIn. Go check out Sam's podcast, Sustain. And this will inform you so much about what's happening in the world. So definitely go check out the wonderful businesses. We also have Janie joining us, Janie Goodka from Unseen Tours, another wonderful business that I met last year during a Founders Vine event, I believe it was. So I also do some coaching with Founders Vine, and I encountered Janie and her wonderful business ideas. And she has brought that business idea to life in such a wonderful way. If you follow Janie on LinkedIn, you will learn so much more about Unseen Tours and what they are doing for homeless people and how they are making a difference in a social way and in an economic way to these people's lives. It's so powerful what she's doing, and I think everyone should follow definitely Unseen Tours. So wonderful to have you. Let me know where you're from. So Janie's sitting in London right now, really excited for the 5 p.m. start. Wonderful to have you. And I'm seeing a hi everyone on Facebook, but I can't see exactly who that is. That's okay. Everyone who's in, just let me know where you're from. So what I wanted to talk about in the networking tonight is just a little bit about the backstory of the Wisbys. And one of the things that really drove this for me was really trying to connect with a lot of the businesses that are doing innovations, that are thinking about the way that we do things. Now, one of the conflicts that I tend to have when I'm doing this work is that sometimes there's a huge criticism on the power of marketing, or the challenges with marketing in maintaining the whole sustainability topic, because marketing not only generates a lot of carbon in the way that we do things and how much content we have to generate online, etc., to market our small businesses. So that's one of the frustrations. But more than that, it's really about how we lift up people in small communities. And there's not enough businesses that are doing enough to solve big problems. So let's champion the small businesses that are. And the small businesses, in many ways, are closer to the community issues. They know what's happening and they can really support. So this is a wonderful, wonderful way to help and to help champion great ideas. So I'm seeing Sonia welcoming everyone to Wisbys Networking. Hailing from the UK, Hampshire, Stephanie here. Wonderful. Thank you, Stephanie, for joining. Really great to have you. On the next bit, I just want to talk a little bit about my background for those of you who don't know. So I'm originally from a very small island, Trinidad and Tobago. I live now in the UK, but my partner lives in France. So still to this day, I rack up a lot of carbon footprint just trying to get to see my loved ones. I don't feel like I'm from one place, and that's one of the things that I struggle with the most living in the UK. I really do feel like I'm a citizen of the world, and it's sometimes difficult for me to adjust completely to UK life, even though I've been here for more than 12 years. So that's an ongoing journey for me. As to what I do, being a sustainability strategy manager now at a medical devices company is really interesting, and it's put me in an interesting place because I spent the last 4 years working with small businesses. And now that I'm working with a much larger business, I do realize and recognize how difficult the change management journey is. And that's definitely one of the things that I'm working on. So I have to definitely soften the way that I approach the sort of big companies and how we think about big companies now that I work for one. And now that I try to actually make things happen. So it is definitely a journey. There's a lot of education, re-education to take place. There's a lot of balancing of business priorities. Sustainability is a priority, but so is the economy, so is supply chain, so is so many things. So balancing all of these things is always difficult. But of course, we only have one planet. So we know that we need to do the hard work. All right, so does anyone have any questions, anything you want to ask me? I'm going to move now to sort of whether or not you're coming to the live event. And this is an important one. So for everyone who's on the call who does not already have their ticket or their link to the live event, if you do want to join us for the live event, we have a community bonus to offer you today. So because we want to celebrate the wonderful businesses, because this is the last minute that you can actually get a ticket, we have decided to offer our communities, so on LinkedIn and in the Facebook Women in Sustainable Business group, we've decided to offer you a 50% off code just using the promotional code community in all capital letters at the checkout in Eventbrite. So if you don't have your tickets for the live event and you want to see these wonderful businesses win their awards, do come and join us. You just need to use the passcode, or the promotional code, which is community in all capital letters, and you get 50% off the ticket. So that only lasts for the next 30 minutes. So you need to act quickly if you want to get that benefit. So I'm hoping that I see more and more of you here. And I'm seeing Benosa. Hello, I was invited to this wonderful event by Michelle Miller. Wonderful. Dialing in from Seattle. Welcome very much to this, and we hope that you will enjoy it. This is just the networking at the beginning, so I want to invite everyone to put your links into the chat so that people can see your businesses. So just share the links that you want to share, if it is to your LinkedIn profiles or to your business website or your Instagram, whatever links you want to share, please share them. And please go follow each other. Please interact with each other. These are an amazing set of businesses who I think everyone will feel better about themselves by just knowing them. That's the truth. That's how I felt about a lot of these businesses that have applied for these awards. I feel such an immense sense of joy. You know, we haven't had a whole host of applications, but we had just enough to give me that sense of joy that we're doing the right things. And, you know, we've had quite a list of people join us from Australia. So we have lots of finalists from Australia this year. So we have a lot of videos because they'll be sleeping as the awards go on, but we have a lot of videos to share with you from them, either a concession speech or an acceptance speech. So that's going to be wonderful as well tonight. So just share your links, interact with each other, and make sure you get to know each other. All right, so I'm looking now to see if any other questions have come through. So there's some other things that I'd like to talk about if there are no questions. So I'm just looking through. All right, so I don't see any new questions. So one of the other things that I'd like to talk about is fundamentally, how are you participating in networking as a sustainable business? How are you building your traction and your marketing? How are you getting results as a sustainable business? Now, this is one of the topics one of our guest speakers tonight will be talking about, how to actually win with green marketing. Because one of the things that some of us tend to feel when we go out there trying to ply our message of sustainability is that maybe the mainstream isn't as interested as we'd like them to be. And we look at other businesses on our sides doing things in a less ethical way and having more results. And that could be very frustrating. So one of the main topics that we're going to talk about tonight at the event is how to win with your green marketing. And definitely, you know, it's not going to be easy. There's going to be a journey with this. But if you build that traction, you will see the results and you will get a lot of great tips from Michelle. Michelle is a wonderful trainer. She owns the Green Marketing Academy and Minty. She's one of our judges this year. I met her 2 or 3 years ago in this community, Women in Sustainable Business. So it's been a wonderful place to meet people. Okay, so I have a question now, which is, have you ever applied for an award to recognize your business? That's a good question, and I offer that question to everyone who is participating in the chat at this moment. Have you applied for awards before, other than, of course, the Wisbys? So in my case, and this is another part of the founding journey of these awards, I applied for, I think, 3 awards in my entire lifetime. One was to the British Podcasting Awards, because Where Ideas Launch is a fantastic podcast, and I've managed to get to the top 5% in the world with that podcast, as well as I think I'm top 32 in the world for sustainability podcasts. So that's been a really good achievement, but I've never won an award for that. And I've never even had a response from the organizers of the awards about my podcast. And then I applied for another award, which was a mentorship award for the Women in Tech Network. And this is a wonderful network that I've been participating in since 2020. I've met lots of wonderful people in that network as well. But again, I did not win the award, and I never heard anything back from the organizers of that award. And the final award I applied for was probably the most provocative of them all. So I applied for one for my consulting business, and I got the response back from the person who had sent me the email to tell me, oh, why don't you join us? And they said to me, what would you like this award to be called? Basically, they were going to give me any award that I asked for. And I thought to myself, oh my goodness, this award thing is incredibly, well, I can't call all of the awards like this, but there are many awards that are really unethical. And that's not a good thing, because actually, you know, for so many reasons, people spend a lot of time applying for these things. They deserve to hear something. And the other thing is that, you know, we don't deserve to just have an award for no reason, right? So it's a good idea to have that competition, to be able to benchmark yourself against other businesses, to know what you could improve and how you can make your business stronger, right? So one of the main reasons I've designed the Wisbys the way that I have is because I wanted to make sure no one had that kind of negative experience of applying for awards that I had. So everyone who has applied for an award has received robust feedback, an entire page length They must have taken forever to go through the length of feedback that I gave them. I spent roughly, I don't know how many hours last weekend just going through all of the results and all of the feedback. And actually, it was a wonderful process just to really internalize it, to reflect on what the judges have said for my own business as well, because I'm getting input from the judges in this way too, understanding how they think and how they see things, but also to pass that information on. I've had so many comments, so many wonderful comments saying, wow, that's amazing. I've never had feedback for an award I applied for. And that is the difference of the Wisbys. That is the difference that we are making. We are giving you real feedback and we are really helping you improve your business. And this is why the Wisbys will be here to stay. And that's what I hope, at least. So I hope that's a good answer for you. And I see that Responsible Futures is saying, I run a B2B sustainability consultancy and training and education through webinars, and the majority of my networking is through LinkedIn. Curious to hear how others drive their B2B business. Yes, that's a really good question as well. So I think one of the things that prompted me to go back to corporate was stability of income. And I wanted to have some time to rethink and re-strategize, give me some time to build the Wisbys as well, because the Wisbys at the moment is not a money-making thing. In fact, it will probably never be a money-making thing, because the business model that I have in mind for the Wisbys is what you call a social business. And a social business, according to Muhammad Yunus, is a business that does not pass profits on to its founders or its owners. What it does is that it generates profits in order to support the community, in order to drive more initiatives, in order to invest in the business, to be able to do more for the communities that it supports. And that's the idea that I have in mind for the Wisbys. It is not that yet. So I have to be very, very clear with you. The Wisbys is not a social business yet. It is an intention that I have to make it a social business. But at the moment, the Wisbys sits within my existing business because I am absolutely supporting it with the funds that I earn from my business. So this is part of the journey. But I think that things like this, the Wisbys and building this, the other part of it was about meeting the kinds of people that I want to work with and I want to support. And that's of keen interest for me as a consultant, as someone who works with businesses on strategy, on innovation, and on reporting and getting their ESG reporting right, etc. This is an interesting thing for me to do, to meet a lot of businesses who are in this space and who might be interested in that support. So the Wisbys has been a fantastic opportunity for me to meet businesses. Of course, I'm still committed to the job that I've taken, and it's a really wonderful job. But it's really a nice idea to have this building in the background for, whatever I might decide to do next. So this is a wonderful opportunity, and I've really embraced it. And it's one of the ways that I think it's a big, complicated way, but it's a lovely way to meet new businesses and very intimately as well. So I think I've made some very intimate connections of all the applicants for the awards. All right, so Benosa is saying, we're live in our FB group too. That's where the comments are coming from. Oh, that's coming from the Wisbys. Wonderful. Can you apply for awards when you are just starting out? Right. So I think that's a really, really fabulous question. And I think it's the fear of many people. I mean, when we were going on this journey, so many people came in and basically came into the group and said, well, I'm not ready. I'm not ready to apply for an award. I remember we did a survey, we did a poll, and so many people were in that boat of I'm not ready. The second thing, we couldn't find themselves in the award. And that's a difficult thing because we can't design an award that specifically fits every single business. So that's always a challenge. But definitely that was a challenge for us in wanting to have fresh, funky names for the awards, but making sure that people felt that they fit in that award. So that was some work that we had to do. In fact, we had to add a category in to make sure that people felt comfortable with it. And we also had to support a lot of people to make that decision. So anyway, I'm rambling. Well, let me answer the question. So can you apply for an award if you're just starting out? And the answer is that it really depends. So what does it depend on? The awards themselves. So are they awarding innovation? Are they looking for the design? Are they looking specifically at how your creating a solution. So sometimes if they're looking for that creational type of thing, it's very appropriate for you to apply. In fact, you'll probably win, if you're designing something, if you're still in that phase. And in fact, we had one applicant in that case who has done quite some months of work, but has not actually launched live yet. They have all the concepts in place. They have all the supply chain checks that they're willing to do in place. And they applied and they did very, very well. They did not make it to the final, but actually they were probably one away from the final. So that goes to show that even if you're not launched yet, you can still have that opportunity to win an award. And I also think that if you're 3 months in, you're still not having customers, then you won't have probably any testimonials. So maybe you lose a score on testimonials, but the way that you do your marketing, for example, was very important to the Wisby Awards this year. So we took the green claims code and we broke it down and we said, okay, how is this business practicing the green claims code in what they're doing? So this is one of the key things that I think any sustainability award will be looking for. And if you're doing good marketing, if you're doing a good quality of marketing, then you'll definitely get prompts for that. So if you're interested in doing good marketing, I'm going to give a bit of props to Michelle Miller. If you're interested and you want to check out the Green Marketing Academy, I believe she has another course coming up very soon. So that will be a really interesting thing to tap into as well. And also just to let you know that we will be running an impact workshop in November. So coming out of all of the awards, coming out of what we've seen from all the participants, we're running an impact workshop in November. We'll tell you more details about that in the group if you want to tap in, and also on LinkedIn and now YouTube. So if any of you are not following us on YouTube, please go over there and follow us on YouTube as well. And we will update you on what's coming up with that award. All right, so and responsible futures. So Sam says, you have done amazing, Catherine. You are so inspirational with everything you do. Thank you so much, Sam. It's been hard work. I cannot tell a lie. I mean, if I tell you the honest truth, last night we supposed to have a last planning meeting, and I totally collapsed and missed the meeting. I was so exhausted with everything I've been doing. But this is a journey, and if you're doing it for the right reasons, it can never go wrong, right? So that's part of it. So what do you think? I like this question. What do you think about the Apple Mother Nature ad? Lovely, lovely question. So I think I have a complex answer to this one. And sorry, I should have been sharing all of these comments to make sure everyone can see them. But with this one, so first of all, I love Octavia Spencer. I think she's a fantastic actress. And I think from an entertainment perspective, the Apple ad was brilliant. So if you haven't seen it, it is Apple having a visit at their board meeting by Mother Nature, and she kind of blows in with a big wind, and you see all the employees kind of, shaking and shivering and, hiding the plant that hasn't been watered enough and stuff like this from Mother Nature, etc. And then Mother Nature starts to grill them on what they're doing about their climate goals and what they're doing about their environmental goals. So they've made promises, and she's checking in on their promises, and they're basically saying things like, well, yeah, we're late on this one, but actually we're going to deliver this one and this other one earlier and stuff like this. So it's basically Tim Cook having that conversation, and others from the boardroom also fielding questions. So I thought it was a brilliant ad from an entertainment perspective, really well done, really well executed. But there's always a but. And the but is, they're not first, right? So Patagonia has already given their company to Mother Nature. So Patagonia has promised that their entire profits will go towards solving climate challenges. And that's a big commitment. I mean, I'd love to see Microsoft and, Tesla and Elon Musk and Apple make such a big commitment, right? Everything that they earn will go toward solving problems for the planet. So I will give them that challenge. That's my challenge for the ad. Can you actually make a bigger statement rather than just an ad that kind of can come across a bit like trying to green market your way through things? Can you actually deliver on some big things like turning your profits back to the communities that you serve and the communities that you operate in? So that would be interesting for me. So all in all, I like the ad. I think it was good, but definitely there's some buts. All right, so please feel free to drop us any comments. So that's Sonia talking to Benosa, wonderful. Right. So I think that we've had lots of great questions today. Thank you so very much. So I see Sam is asking or commenting one more. I think Apple is still all about growth and profit, not about reduction. Most of the campaign was around offsetting, which doesn't go with the new regulations. Yeah, there is a bit of that. So that's another wonderful topic. And I know that's not a question that you asked, but let's talk about offsetting. So definitely offsetting is not the solution. We all know that. At the same time, I see offsetting as a path to not do nothing. So now that I sit on the other side of the fence, and this is where you'll get my reflection as someone being corporate at the moment, things take a bit of time. So we have a lot of ideas, for example, of innovations that we're going to put into place. We need to then go through the IP process for those things. We then need to go on the deployment plans. We need to make sure we have enough capacity to test those things before we make them live, because we're in medical devices, for example. So you have to really be quality checked. It takes a long time for a new product to make it to market in our type of industry. That's different probably for Apple, but definitely it takes a long time for that kind of product to make it to market. So because we know that there's a journey that we're going on and we're going to do these things in the future, we're committed to the process. However, we need to do some offsetting right now for two reasons. One, to help, right? To help with the situation where we can. And that money that we pay for those offsets goes into developing more solutions. And sometimes there's a social benefit to us paying that money toward offsetting. So just to give an example, this is widely publicized on my company's website, that they donate or they give contributions to a company called Plastic Bank, which is based in Southeast Asia, that coordinates collection of plastic bottles and tries to prevent plastic bottles from going into the deep Pacific rubbish bin, basically. And that is a good solution, a good interim solution. It is not the solution by any means, but it is a good interim solution that gives us something that we didn't have before, which is a big community sort of handprint. So we're able to touch the community in a different way, right? So these people in these communities do survive from that. Now, do we need a better solution for the communities? Yes. Do we need a better solution for plastic waste? Yes. But these are things that we can do. And, that's just part of the journey that we are on. Yeah. So I think offsetting is something that we need to be mindful of. We need to understand that, this is not the be all and end all. But I think we have to balance it with all the other things and understand that money is going toward helping a solution where it is, right? There are some offsetting solutions that probably are a bit dubious, and we need to be able to evaluate those and know where we're putting our money. So that's definitely a good point. Yeah. So, all right. So I think that's it for the questions. This has been a wonderful bit of networking. I would love it if you all would tell your friends about the community offer if you want to, so that they can get tickets to join us tonight at 5 p.m. So I will definitely duck out of here very soon so that I can go and get ready for 5 p.m. launch. So just to tell you what's coming up at 5, we have wonderful Holly Hudson, who is a comedian. She's quite hilarious, actually. Who is a comedian. She has a big following, massive following on TikTok. And she also does stand-up comedy. She also is a ghostwriter. So she's a ghost author for books, and she ghost authored my own book. So she helped me with the structure of the book. Although I wrote all the content, she helped me with the structure. She helped me to reorganize the book at times to make sure that it had a good flow, etc. So she's a wonderful human, and we're pleased to have her as MC. We hope that you will be in stitches. The idea tonight is to leave you feeling really, really happy and joyful and excited about the world, right? So that's what we're aiming for. Hopefully it lasts more than just the 3 hours of the event tonight, but we welcome you to invite other people, let others know that it's at a discount, so you get that last minute joiner community discount, and we would love to have you participate at 5 p.m. It is streaming live to YouTube only, so I hope you get your tickets and you're able to join us. So thank you so much. And we have so excited for the awards. I am too. I am incredibly buzzing. I haven't slept in a long time, but that's okay. I can sleep when it's over. I'm ready. I am absolutely ready for these awards tonight. All right, so thank you for joining me, and I will see you in just about 15 minutes. So see you soon. Take care. Cannot wait. Me neither. See you soon, everyone. Ciao.
We had great fun judging at the Wisbys event this year.
I am so thrilled to have come across this amazing community. It's often a very lonely road when you're doing sustainability.
I really think it's so important that we do all we can to support and grow this ever-evolving positive impact business movement. It's such an important part of creating a better future for us and for our kids. And so big thank you to the Wisbys team as well for putting on these awards.